Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm here to talk about something really important for every single marketer, especially if you're a content creator, blogger. Pinterest, my personal favorite social media platform, but it's not really social media, right? So we're going to talk about that later. But Pinterest is a powerhouse for discovery and purchase. We're going to talk about the 6 most impactful shifts happening on Pinterest right now. These aren't just trends, these are fundamental changes that demand a new playbook for pin powered growth. I'm going to explore how these shifts are reshaping strategy and what you need to do to stay ahead. Let's get started by looking at the current state of all things Pinterest. Before I get into it, I'm Nick, CEO of Viral Pins Agency. I run about 8 different brands right now on Pinterest. Every single day, I have about 150 or more pins going out in all different kinds of niches, make multiple 6 figures. I've made nearly $1 million from Pinterest traffic. So I am inside and figuring out Pinterest all day long, every day. So Pinterest has truly exploded. Right now, there's tons of competition. And there's a lot of people that aren't trying to make money from Pinterest. It's 600 million monthly active users worldwide, massive audience, growing fast. But this growth brings a new challenge, competition, right? The brands winning today aren't just present, they're engaging differently. Pinners are highly motivated. 85% of weekly users have bought something that they saw on the platform. They also spend twice as much as shoppers on other platforms. This essentially is a very high intent audience, and 96% of top searchers are unbranded, meaning discovery is the real game. Now let's look at the specific trends driving this evolution. So 6 critical trends reshaping Pinterest in 2026, and this is going to be beyond. We're seeing everything from the rise of AI's impact on authenticity to the evolution of video content. Each of these trends represents a significant shift in how users interact with the platform and how brands need to respond. I'm also going to cover how visual search is becoming the new SEO and why intentional content is now more important than ever. I'm going to walk you through each trend, what the data says, and exactly how to adapt your strategy, starting with the AI authenticity dilemma. So the first trend, and a really important one, is what we're calling the AI authenticity dilemma. With everybody having access to free and all the same AI tools, the playing field has changed dramatically. It's no longer about who can create the most content. It's about whose unique point of view shines through. Your brand's distinct voice and aesthetic are now your most valuable assets. This shift forces us to rethink how we're leveraging AI without losing our brand's soul. So let's explore the core problem here. The problem, obviously, is clear. AI generated content is flooding Pinterest, and users are definitely noticing. Gen Z, which now makes up over half of Pinterest's massive user base, is actively rejecting this algorithmic sameness. They're seeking out hyper niche identities and putting their own spin on trends to avoid feeling like everybody else. Last year, we're all asking how to use AI to create more pins. This year, the question has completely flipped. How do we stop looking exactly like everyone else? This is a critical challenge that we need to address. So, how do we navigate this AI authenticity dilemma while still using AI and scaling? So, it's about winning the game, not just playing it. First, prioritize curation over creation. Feed AI your brand's visual DNA, your color palette, your mood, your aesthetic. Use it to enhance your vision, not replace it entirely. Second, embrace the imperfect. Real life context, a slight imperfection, that human touch, these build massive trust. Generic templates just don't cut it anymore. And finally, build a visual prompt library. When a prompt generates an image that truly reflects your brand, save it. Consistency compounds, and your judgment is the product. The tools just produce it faster, and it makes it easier to scale. And this brings us to our next big shift, where visuals become even more critical. So trend number 2, visual search is a new SEO. So this is a huge one, and it fundamentally changes about what we think about discovery on Pinterest. We all know that Pinterest is a visual search engine, but on this platform, your images aren't just pretty pictures. They are your keywords. This isn't just about optimizing text descriptions anymore. It's about making your visuals speak volumes. We're moving into a world where the image itself is a primary search query. So let's dive into why this shift is so critical and what this means for your brand more importantly. So here's the problem. 96% of Pinterest searches are unbranded. Think about that for a second. Users are searching for summer outfit ideas, not Gap summer outfit ideas. This is a massive discovery opportunity that most brands are completely missing. People come to Pinterest looking for inspiration, for ideas, and they're open to discovering new products. In fact, 71% of users say Pinterest helps them find things they normally wouldn't even encounter. And for Gen Z, 69% say visual results are more helpful than text reviews when they're deciding what to buy. The shift is clear. It's no longer just about keywords, it's about visual searchability. And so, how do we ensure that our pins are showing up, right? That they're not invisible? So, to make your brand visually searchable, we have three key strategies. First, you need to pass the 5-second visual test. Show a pin to a stranger. If they can't tell what your brand does in 5 seconds, your visual messaging isn't clear enough. Second, anchor every board. Your board covers, pin titles, and overall visual style should all tell the same cohesive story. Repetition creates recognition, making your brand instantly identifiable. Finally, measure visual impact. Track saves and engagement by visual style, not just by keywords. Double down on what truly resonates visually. The brands winning on Pinterest are recognizable from a single pin, no logo needed. This focus on visual clarity leads us directly into our next trend, the intentional content shift. So the intentional content shift, this is about quality over quantity, and it's a critical mindset change for many marketers. We've seen a lot of brands just trying to pump out more and more pins, but that's not really the end all be all answer anymore. Better pins is the answer at scale. It's about making every single piece of content count, ensuring it serves a real purpose for your audience and your brand. So let's explore why this shift is happening and what it means for your overall content strategy. So we're talking about this intentional content shift, but we need to confront the problem head on. The reality is output is way up and impact is way down. So we're seeing 1.5 billion pins saved every single week, and that noise level has never been higher, and it's only getting worse. AI has removed the friction from content creation, which sounds great, but it's also removed the filter. Now, weak ideas are flooding feeds. Creating content that truly drives engagement is still the number one challenge for most marketers on Pinterest and on other brands, on other social media platforms. So if you're just pinning for the sake of it, you're actually training your audience to ignore you. The shift is clear. It's no longer about how many pins that we can publish, but how much intent we put behind each one. So how do we fix this? How do we stay ahead with so much competition? It comes down to three core rules for intentional Pinterest content. First, replace what should we pin with why are we pinning? If your only answer is because it's Tuesday, then delete that draft. Every pin needs a purpose. Second, set a clear quality standard. Does this pin teach, inspire, or solve a problem for your audience? If it's just adding to the noise, you're training people to scroll right past you like everyone else is doing right now. Finally, track resonance over reach. One save from a qualified lead is far more valuable than 1,000 impressions. Optimize for those saves and outbound clicks. Those are the metrics that matter. Remember, every pin needs to earn its place. If it doesn't serve your audience, it doesn't serve your brand. This brings us to the next big trend, the social commerce surge. So, talked about intentional content. Our fourth trend is about turning that discovery into sales. So, we're seeing a massive social commerce surge on Pinterest. This platform isn't just for inspiration anymore. It's become a powerful sales engine. Pinners are coming here with a clear intent to purchase. And that's a huge opportunity, especially if you have an e-commerce product. So, we need to understand how to leverage this shift from pure discovery to actual purchase. So, let's dive into why this audience is so valuable. This is where the real opportunity lies. Pinterest shoppers are hands down the highest intent audience you'll find across all social media. They're not just passively scrolling, they're actively planning purchases and researching products. This intent translates directly into sales. So we know 85% of weekly pinners have made a purchase based on a brand pin, and they spend twice as much per month compared to shoppers on other platforms. A full 55% of pinners use this platform specifically to shop. Pinterest is now the fifth most popular social commerce platform globally. So the shift is becoming more and more clear. It's no longer just about getting discovered. It's about converting that discovery into a sale. And so how do we make that happen? To convert those high intent pinners into buyers, we need to focus on three key strategies. First, make every single pin shoppable. Use product tags, shoppable pins, and direct links to your product pages. Fewer clicks always equal more conversions. Don't make your audience hunt for what they want. Second, create a seamless mobile experience. Over 85% of pinners are on mobile, so your product pages must be fast, clean, and perfectly optimized for their devices. Finally, leverage user-generated content. Feature real customers using your products. That social proof builds the trust needed to convert browsers into buyers. Pinterest users arrive ready to buy, so our job is to make that path to purchase effortless. Now let's look at how video is changing the game. So we're going to talk about how to make every pin shoppable. We've talked about how to make every pin shoppable. Now we need to move into how to make these shoppable pins really stand out. That brings us to trend number 5, the video pin evolution. Video pins and idea pins are completely changing the game for content on Pinterest. They're not just a nice to have anymore. They're essential for capturing attention and telling your brand story. This trend is about leveraging dynamic content to connect with your audience in more engaging ways. And not to mention, with Pinterest, you got to try all different types of pins, including video, to stand out and to grow your reach. So the core insight here is clear. Video is no longer optional on Pinterest. It's the engagement driver. Static images, while still important, aren't enough. They don't cut it anymore, cut through that noise that they used to. Video pins give us the power to tell richer stories, demonstrate products in action, and build deeper connections with our audience, especially with that user-generated content. In fact, advertisers using video see 2.5 times higher return on ad spend, and users scroll video ads 150% slower. This isn't just about creating video, it's about creating video that truly stands out. So how do we do this effectively? So how do we make sure video content isn't just more noise, it actually drives real engagement? There are 3 best practices for 2026. First, think in chapters, not just short clips. Use idea pins to create multiple page stories like step-by-step guides or before and after transformations. Second, optimize for sound off viewing. Most users watch without audio, so use text overlays and strong visuals to get your message across. Finally, always create for the vertical screen. Fill that screen, make it immersive, and don't make users turn their phone sideways. They're not going to watch. Remember, video is how you go from being seen to being remembered on Pinterest. Now let's shift gears on our next trend, which is all about speed. So our 6th and final trend, real-time trend spotting and the speed of adaptation. This is where the rubber meets the road for brands looking to truly dominate on Pinterest. It's not enough to just plan out on a content calendar months in advance anymore. The brands that are winning aren't just planning, they're constantly adapting in real time. This trend emphasizes agility and responsiveness to what's happening right now. So let's look at why this speed is so crucial. The problem is simple. Slow teams miss trends, but fast teams own them. Pinterest Predicts has an incredible 88% accuracy rate, meaning the trends are there for the taking. But if you're waiting for a monthly report, you've already missed the boat. It's too late. Seasonal content, for example, starts gaining traction months before the actual event. If you're not acting early, you're losing out on significant reach and clicks. The shift is clear. It's no longer about planning the perfect strategy, but about how fast you can learn and adapt. So how do we build that kind of responsiveness into our strategy? So it comes down to 3 key actions. First, make Pinterest trends your weekly ritual, if not daily. This isn't a once a month check-in anymore. It's a consistent pulse check. You need to see what's gaining momentum in your niche and act early before everyone else catches on, because other people are doing this. Second, shorten your feedback cycles. If a pin is performing well, don't wait for a monthly report to replicate its success. Create more like it immediately, review weekly, act daily. And finally, optimize what's already working. Update descriptions on your top performing pins with trending keywords. Create fresh pins for your best content. Small, consistent tweaks compound into big results. The brands winning in 2026 and beyond are the ones who can spot a trend, create content, and publish before everyone else catches up or realizes what's going on. So I've covered a lot of ground today with these 6 trends that are really defining the marketing playbook for Pinterest this year so far. From navigating that AI authenticity dilemma by building a unique visual content library to making your pins visually searchable so they pass that 5-second test, each trend demands a specific shift. We also talked about moving from volume to value with intentional content, turning discovery into sales with shoppable pins, and evolving from static images to those dynamic sound off video stories. And of course, adapting faster than the competition by using Pinterest trends weekly, if not daily. So just want to give you this summary here slide to give you a quick reference for each trend, the shift that it represents, and the key action item so you can take right now. But what does this mean, and how are you going to adapt your current strategy? So this brings us to the core difference between just keeping up and actually evolving your Pinterest strategy. So it's not just about doing more. It's not about doing more of what it would have worked in 2024. You need to do better and be more strategic for this year and thinking about the next year and the coming years. Pinterest is no longer a place for just pretty pictures or a simple pin board. It's a powerful visual search engine that directly drives sales. So you need to treat it like one. The brands that succeed will be those who embrace the evolution, not just those who add more pins to their board with no strategy whatsoever. So you need to start with the decision to pin with purpose, to be intentional, and to truly understand the platform's power. And that's how you will see real growth. Thank you. Appreciate you watching this video. Subscribe for more tips on how to make money with Pinterest, blogging, digital products, using AI, YouTube, and all the things. So subscribe, and thanks. We'll see you for the next one.